I'm sure there's life and civilizations out there because there are, as far as we know, about 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, which is only a small part of a possibly infinite universe beyond that. So, there is definitely life and civilizations out there. There just has to be. But the real question is, how many of them are contactable? How far do you have to go? Brian Cox puts it in a nutshell: there must be life out there, but where is it? Brian Cox explains the latest scientific findings on the probability of extraterrestrial life, and we learn from the charming Brit why we don't get to see all the life forms that are surely present in the universe. If we follow the zoo hypothesis, then the universe is full of life, but these life forms avoid us for a very specific reason. Maybe that's a good thing. Because if we follow it, another exciting theory discussed by Brian Cox, there aren't just aliens out there that you want to know about. Brian Cox takes us on a fascinating journey through the vastness of the cosmos and to one of humanity's biggest questions: are we alone in the universe? Let's go on a search together. Cox presents us with the impressive idea of an immeasurable number of galaxies, each with countless stars and potentially habitable planets. In this seemingly limitless ocean of space, the presence of life and even advanced civilizations seems almost inevitable. But with so many possibilities, why have we yet to find any trace of extraterrestrial life? The answer may lie in an intriguing hypothesis that speculates that advanced extraterrestrial civilizations may already know and observe us, but not contact us, much like animals in a zoo. We are being scrutinized, and there may be influences and contacts that most of us just don't know about. Cox himself does not find an answer to the question of whether all the living beings that must exist in the universe are only good. If we follow the dark forest hypothesis, then this is not the case, and we do not receive visits from aliens because they are suspicious. So, are we living in a cosmic game of hide and seek, where we are either the left behinds or enemies of something we don't even know? These views add completely new dimensions to the search for life in space, and, of course, they go far beyond what NASA officially sells us as the search for life in the universe. We're not talking about discovering individual bacteria on Mars or fish in subterranean oceans on icy moons. We're talking about other intelligent civilizations that may also regularly frequent the globe without us noticing almost. Because there's plenty of evidence of aliens on Earth. Brian Cox says, there is certainly other life. I don't think you have to leave our galaxy to reach another species. I think that's the real question. It's about our galaxy, because I don't see us ever contacting things from another galaxy, so it's practically almost irrelevant. But within our galaxy of 400 billion stars, that's the question: what's there? Brian Cox is absolutely right. 400 billion stars in our Milky Way alone means trillions of planets, and among them, billions of rocky planets similar to Earth. There must be other life forms in space. Let's realize these dimensions and start a little journey. We start here on Earth, our own living planet, sitting in a solar system that is just a tiny dot in the Milky Way. From a distance, we can see our Sun, which is just one star out of an estimated 400 billion stars in our galaxy. We can't see the many planets orbiting these stars, but we know they are there. We travel on to our nearest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, where there is at least one Earth-like planet in the habitable zone. Proxima Centauri b could have conditions conducive to life, and it's just one of many right on our galactic doorstep. Astronomers have discovered thousands of exoplanets, many of them in the habitable zone of their stars. This zone is not too hot and not too cold, and just right for liquid water. The journey takes us further through the Milky Way, past star systems with gas giants, icy worlds, and rocky planets. Some of these worlds, like the moons Europa and Enceladus, could conceal oceans beneath their surfaces. Intelligent life could also exist there. The possibilities for life and the possible places for life seem endless. As we continue to travel through the galaxy, the true size of the universe becomes clearer and clearer, and we are still within our galaxy, which is only one of billions. With billions of galaxies, each harboring billions of stars, the likelihood of life elsewhere seems even more daunting. Traveling through the universe makes us marvel at the complexity and beauty of the cosmos. It reminds us how little we still know and how much there is still to discover. Yet despite our advanced technology and the tireless search of astronomers, we have yet to find any concrete sign of extraterrestrial life. Every new telescope, every space probe we send into the cosmos, is another step on this incredible journey. The likelihood of life in the universe remains one of the most fascinating questions we can ask as humanity. And as we continue to gaze at the stars and send messages into the vastness of space, the hope remains that one day we will get answers. Where's everyone? The Fermi Paradox. Imagine you are sitting in the canteen of the Los Alamos National Laboratory on a sunny afternoon in 1950. Sitting at the table is Enrico Fermi, a brilliant physicist who became famous for his work on the first nuclear reactor and his contributions to quantum mechanics. Suddenly, in the middle of a seemingly everyday conversation, Fermi raises a question that still fascinates scientists and laymen alike today: where are they? This was the birth of the Fermi Paradox, which is still hotly debated in science today. The Fermi Paradox poses a simple question: if the universe is so old and so big, with billions of stars in our galaxy alone, many of which could potentially have habitable planets, why haven't we found any signs of extraterrestrial life? Are we animals in an intergalactic zoo? One answer to the Fermi Paradox is the theory that extraterrestrial civilizations may exist, but like us, humans are self-destructive, and these life forms extinguish themselves or have already extinguished themselves before they have had the opportunity to make contact with other civilizations. Another idea is that interstellar communication or travel is also so difficult or costly for these life forms that it's simply not possible. So, both theories say nothing other than that all intelligent civilizations share the same problem: they can't find each other. But that doesn't fit in with the many thousands of UFO sightings, the mysteries surrounding Area 51, or stories that governments around the world are in contact with aliens but are keeping them from us. The zoo hypothesis, which states that extraterrestrial civilizations exist and are aware of us, but have decided not to make contact with us, is an interesting one. There can be many reasons for this. One theory is that these races do not want to disturb us so as not to interfere with our natural development. However, they observe us in a similar way to how we observe animals in a zoo. Other extensions of the idea are that these species do exert influence, but in secret. Stories are circulating on the internet about various ambassadors from other planets and species who have been sent to Earth to offer help, but the governments were either hostile or stupid and refused help and cooperation in favor of their own machinations. In which case, we really shouldn't be surprised if socially and intelligently superior species give us a wide berth. In the 1980s, the American Bob Dean revealed his knowledge of NATO's contacts with at least 12 species that do not originate from Earth but regularly pass through here. 2 of them are even said to live among us on Earth, and one of the races looks so similar to us that we cannot distinguish these creatures from humans. The increase in UFO sightings by fighter pilots and other witnesses has increased so dramatically that there was even a hearing in the U.S. Congress on the subject in 2023. So, there could be something to the zoo hypothesis. Now, of course, we have to ask ourselves whether there are only kind and thoughtful aliens out there or whether we also have to reckon with hostile entities. Better not to encounter the dark forest hypothesis. The Chinese writer Liu Cixin came up with an exciting hypothesis in his science fiction novel The Dark Forest. The writer compares the universe to a dark forest in which every civilization is a potential hunter. In this scenario, civilizations hide in order to avoid being discovered by other, possibly hostile life forms. In this dark forest of the cosmos, civilizations might develop advanced technology to hide or even take aggressive measures to preemptively neutralize potential threats. The idea that the universe could be a dangerous place, where detection or discovery could have deadly consequences, adds a whole new dimension to the search for extraterrestrial life. If we follow this idea, other species could be aware of us but avoid us out of fear. And let's be honest, there are plenty of reasons for this. Humanity is not just made up of peaceful alien fans and open-minded spirits. Imagine if even a friendly alien were to land here. Most people would panic. Perhaps an alien would even be spontaneously attacked by angry people. At the very least, the witnesses would probably call the police. The alien visitor would be imprisoned for the time being and would have to answer a lot of questions. Then, perhaps after weeks or months, the alien would be allowed to lead a reasonably free life and explore the city in which he had landed. But the Secret Service would probably follow him. Honestly, would you want that if you were an alien yourself? If we humans found a civilization like ours somewhere in space, we would probably classify it as difficult to assess, neurotic, and possibly a little paranoid. We would perhaps carefully try to make contact so as not to frighten anyone or send an ambassador. But no one would simply land there and seek contact for safety reasons. And that's exactly how all the aliens out there might feel about us humans. Press subscribe now because there are many more highlights to come.